Hey there, my name is Jude Shingle, and I'm the Arts Program Director for the Erie Center for Arts and Technology. And today I wanted to talk about this piece of art. So typically when I'm going through a gallery, I don't, the first thing I see is kind of what I gravitate to, and then I'll kind of go from there. I don't really start at the beginning, I just kind of start at a piece. And when I see this one, I immediately thought, oh, it looks like a giant piece of sheet metal that you'd find on like a construction site. Why is that on a wall? Because it doesn't really feel like art to me. But I know better, so then I kind of got up close, and what I realized, both by kind of looking at the tag and then also kind of getting up close and seeing some clues, is this is actually acrylic paint on canvas. So this whole thing was painted and actually mounted on canvas, and then my mind was blown and was like, well, now I want to discover more. And I just thought it was so fascinating. So just like little details of kind of like how it's cut out here. And normally canvases are straight, right? But this one's actually cut out. And then even the way that the artist kind of addresses the side of it, it kind of looks like you took a grinding tool to it, like the texture and the color of the paint just kind of overlap. It really looks like it's actual metal that kind of melted and was ground down. And then when you get real close up, even the layers of acrylic are kind of cracked, and it looks like little rust marks. And if we kind of take the artist panel at its word, that paint, that's not rust that kind of went there. That means that someone had to kind of throw it on there and maybe water it down and really kind of mess with the alchemy of the paint to really make it look like rust, which I think is so fascinating that someone just kind of looked at old sheet metal in such an intense way and decided, I'm going to try to replicate this in such a convincing way. I mean, it's like this really cool effect where, again, at first I thought, oh, that's just a piece of metal. And then to my surprise, kind of looking closely at it, it became something much more. Just other details that I think are super fascinating. Just the way that kind of the numbers are written, the dimensions 48 by 60, and kind of letters that I would assume would tell you kind of where on the construction process it might go. How you kind of thought about how this piece might have aged, and kind of like maybe it was coated in like a blue paint and then some of it kind of peeled and rusted off, but even before the blue paint, maybe there was like white primer there, and there's kind of some shapes that look like normal wear and tear, and then there's some things that kind of have representation to them, like maybe like a letter T or an I, but that could also be like a steel beam that was used in the project. And there's like these little kind of circular parts which kind of make me think of like when drywall screws go in, or screws, just these cool little marks of history that are totally made up because it's canvas, it's not an actual piece of sheet metal. And it's, just endlessly fascinating to me. So thanks for listening to my observations there. And I'm very curious, what do you see going on in this piece of art? Thanks.